Avalon, welcome back to Simply Avalon. In case you couldn't tell from this title down here, today I have a video on how to make straight A's, and this is really pertaining to high school students, but if you are in middle school or in elementary, this can help you out too. But yeah, so let's just get on with the video. So I have 5 tips on how to make straight A's, and personally all of these have helped me. I'm not saying that I know everything about there is to know about school, because I don't, and yeah, we should just like get into the tips. Number 1, put in effort. It's funny how when you think about it, a lot of people just expect to walk into the class not even doing their homework and then expect to come out with a passing grade, when in reality, the people who are making those A's, they're working. We're not just sitting around not doing our homework, not studying. We are really working behind the scenes. And I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate the amount of effort that students who make all A's put into their work, but work ethic is just so important. That's like my next point. So effort does not necessarily mean that, okay, I'm just going to turn in my homework assignments on time. It can also be in the quality of your work, in the questions that you ask during class, just how much effort are you putting forth to school, work, and just your studies. So I like to use my sports example. Would you rather go to a sports game or would you rather finish your homework assignment? If you choose to go to the sports game and just allow your homework assignment to just go to the trash basically, then maybe you're not putting enough effort into school. So my next tip is to work on your work ethic. So that's basically the quality of your work and how you're getting it done. Personally, I like to try and get stuff done early so that I will not be stressed out later on. This has worked very, very well for me, and I am now a sophomore in high school. But basically, work hard and you're gonna see results. I'm not saying that they will be immediate, especially if you aren't starting off with the best grades, but when teachers see that you are actually putting hard work in, they're more willing to help you out later. And that goes into my third point, which is to study. Now, this actually goes with my put in effort, but personally, I feel like this needs a tip, a label of its own, because people just generally do not know how to study. Studying is not just, okay, let me put in 5 minutes, I'll glance over the study guide or what my notes, I'll glance over it for 5 minutes and then, okay, I call that studying. That's not studying. Studying is actually sitting down, setting time away from your phone, away from distractions like TV or even like your friends if you just can't do study groups. And it's just to figure out what works for you, whether that be flashcards, whether that be Quizlet, whether that be vocabulary.com, or just be your paper notes. So that brings me to my next point, which is time management. This goes back to my would you rather go to a sports game or do your homework, because a lot of people don't understand that you have 24 hours in a day. Now realize that if you're getting at least the expected amount of sleep, you're gonna have 8 hours gone automatically. And that's not even including the fact that, let's be honest, we're not up at 6 a.m. doing homework. So let's just go ahead and take around 12 hours from our day. 8 hours, I'm gonna say, for sleeping. Then we're gonna add an extra hour just for getting ready for school. Now let's add an extra 8 hours for when we're actually in school. So now you see that we have 9 right here, 8, that's 17 hours, okay? Now we're adding an extra 2 hours because of sports practice, because you know it happens, 19 hours. So how many hours do we have left? Exactly. So for me personally, I like to use an agenda. I actually just threw away my old one, but I already have a new one and it looks like this. Basically what you need to do is just see how much time that you are using throughout the day, and also see those moments where you're not doing anything and you're just generally wasting time, and put that time aside to actually do work. So at my school, I have one study hall per school year, and I can actually use that study hall, or I can actually put it off to another school year, I guess you would say, the next school year. And last year I had a journalism class. Now, the great thing about this journalism class was that she gave us all of our assignments for the month at the start of the month. meaning that we already knew that we had an article due by the third week of school. Well, not school. Third week of the month, and then also an assignment and a quiz that was due at a certain date of the month. Meaning that if I got all of my assignments done, I could actually use the rest of that class as a study hall. So the great thing about this class was that the time that I wasn't using for journalism, I could use for other classes. Meaning that, going back to my biology example, our biology teacher loved to give us a bunch of labs and a bunch of homework just in general. I could use my journalism class once I had finished doing the work for journalism and use that class to finish work in other classes. So I realized that I had extra time in journalism and used it for a different class. And you can do the exact same thing. Just figure out the times that you aren't doing anything and put that time to good use. Now, my next thing is to stay motivated. I feel like a lot of people, once they figure out how much work it takes to stick with want to actually get all A's, they realize that it's just a lot of work. So you have to stay motivated. What I love to do is just to have a list of my goals and just know that even on those low days that, hey, I'm still working towards my goals. I may not have made that perfect A on that quiz, but now I know that I need to study more in that class so that I can have an A overall. So even though I am putting a lot of work into it now and it may not seem like I'm getting anywhere, this will all be worth it in the end. My last thing is to stay organized. So I already brought up my agenda right here. And this one I actually got from Barnes & Noble. It was a present for Christmas. And what I like to do is to use the actual full out calendar, which is always at the front before all of the actual calendar days pages. You know what I'm saying? I like to figure out what days I'm going to be going certain places, all that kind of good stuff. And I just like to put tests, ball games, all of that on my large calendar. And then on the actual days, I'll put my homework. Then I know exactly how much time that I should be using for different classes and whatnot. It's really, really easy when you're in school to get disorganized, but it's also really, really easy to fix your disorganization. For instance, like my locker, which I will actually be showing you later on once I decorate it, if I even decide to decorate it. But I like to have shelves where I can actually put my books on top and then also my binders on the bottom. I also like to have folders in each of my binders so as to be able to put my done work or actually graded work in the folders so that it's separate from my actual binder that has all of my informational stuff for the class. So there's just a lot of small nitpicky things that you can do to stay organized, whether it be keep your areas clean so that you don't actually accidentally lose an assignment or leave it at home. Small things like that can make a big difference. So this is all for the video. I hope that it helped you, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you have any more ideas that you want to share with us on how to make straight A's this coming school year, then definitely comment them down below. I'll definitely comment back. And yeah, bye.